let's talk about this, but let's talk about it on a bigger scale. Dr. Deborah Birx is under attack now from progressives for not walking out of the White House and for refusing to use the phrase disinformation. You heard the word disinformation in her CBS News interview coming from the interviewer. She herself called it parallel streams of data. The left is very angry with Dr. Birx because she did not walk out of the White House and strike a match and burn every bridge when she was there. This is an ongoing phenomenon over the last 4 years of people on the left who decided it was better for you to play the role of a martyr than for you to help the situation, than for you to try to improve the situation. It's going on right now. It's the same phenomenon. There's a story out today that people who work for Donald Trump are starting to realize they're having trouble finding jobs. My position has always been these are the people who should be most celebrated. The people who stuck it out to the end, they may not have agreed with everything the president did, but they tried to stick it out the way forward, the way through, and improve the situation, guide the process as best they could. If they thought it was misguided and they wanted it fixed, they stayed there and they tried to improve it. We should be celebrating these people. We should be holding parades for these people. I mean, if you believe that Donald Trump was the worst person ever to serve as president of the United States, pay no attention to Woodrow Wilson, Jimmy Carter, or some of the others. If you believe that he was the worst person ever to serve as president of the United States, you should love that someone like Deborah Birx was there trying to get good information to the president, as opposed to a Rudy Giuliani Sidney Powell team. Rudy Giuliani, by the way, this morning, Dominion Voter Services suing him for $1.3 billion, along with Sidney Powell. Other lawsuits are forthcoming. You should be celebrating her instead of condemning her for not quitting. Now, some on the right are attacking Dr. Birx for, she told people not to be with family. She traveled with family, apparently, and that she was a bit of a hypocrite. I think there are fair criticisms there of her for not taking her own advice. But overwhelmingly, what we're seeing in American politics right now is the damned if you do, damned if you don't scenarios that put people in untenable positions and then offer them no grace when they try to navigate through. And this is my prevailing position of where we should be as a people, as a political party within the Republican Party, as a conservative philosophically, as a Christian. The last 4 years, I think you've got to be honest and acknowledge that we've never seen a presidency like the presidency of Donald Trump, and we may never see one like it again. Even Donald Trump himself, as he was departing the White House on January 20th, said that his administration was not like any other administration. They did not behave in the same way. So my position has been all along, we should offer everyone as much grace as we possibly can for how they navigated it. Some people revolted against it, rebelled against it, went out of their way to try to end it. Show those people grace. They were freaked out at something they saw, whether from the left or the right, and they wanted to stop it. There were people who went into the administration who, and I should pause here and say they wanted to stop it legally. I'm not sure we need a whole lot of grace for the people who've been burning down America. But for those who saw it and forcefully wrote against it, talked against it, spoke against it, tried to disrupt it, they were seeing something new. Show them some grace. For the people who went into the administration seeing something new, not knowing what to do with it, and decided, you know what, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do whatever I can to make the situation as best I can. Show those people a lot of grace. In fact, these are the people who are most condemned on the left, the people who went in. The people on the left have had this position all along that those who saw and worked for Donald Trump and did not try to undermine him at every step of the way, those are the people who are the traitors to the cause. No, I think those are the real heroes, actually. The people who went into the White House and said, look, this is a guy who's not a professional politician. He doesn't understand the way the system works. He doesn't understand the way Washington works. He's not a lawyer. He's going to get himself into legal trouble. He's going to get the country into trouble. Let's do what we can to manage this as best we can. Allow the president, lawfully elected by the people, to accomplish his agenda in ways that the system will allow, that is legal, that is possible, that we can get done. Those are the people who are the heroes. Whether you like it or not, Donald Trump was the lawfully elected president of the United States for 4 years. He served, and the people who helped him steer his agenda as best they could, I think those people all deserve the Presidential Medal of Freedom, frankly. You may not like the agenda, but here comes a guy who's an amateur who is elected by people who want to burn it all down, and they keep him from burning it all down. We see what would have happened had he been surrounded by the Sidney Powells and Rudy Giuliani's of the world for 4 years. We see where that would have headed, and it would have gone to a very bad place very quickly. It would have gotten out of the president's hands into these conmen and shysters and sycophants who surrounded him, who really didn't have his best interest at heart. They just wanted to profit from him. I think the people like Dr. Birx, while I may not always agree with things she said or had done, I don't think she needs to be condemned like so many on the left are. And this is troubling, and you get to this with her. She's essentially saying that there were people around the president who were feeding him bad information, and he was shaping public policy on that bad information. I would submit to you that is why people like Dr. Birx need to be praised, because she tried to stick it out and tried to get him the right information. And again, we see in the last 2 months of his administration just how badly it would have gone had people like her not been there. But there's no grace anymore for doing your best. There's no grace anymore for anyone who goes into a situation and says, you know what, I'm going to try to make the best of it for the good of the country. No. If you want to make the best of it for the good of the country, the right says you've got to do absolutely everything the president wanted, no matter the constitutionally dubious nature of it. And on the left, no. You've got to go out and put a suicide vest on and blow yourself up on the White House lawn to be rid of the man and martyr yourself for a cause, if not take him out with you. Otherwise, you're engaged in a crime against humanity. The whole thing is ridiculous. The rhetorical overreach of both sides at this point is nuts.